Good morning. I just want to say publicly, Mark, that was outstanding. That was very well done. I appreciate your words. Well, it's an honor for me to be here again, to be back in Shanksville, to be back with the families. I just want to say a word about yesterday. Mark talked a bit about it, but I thought it was just an absolutely wonderful, moving, fitting ceremony to dedicate this memorial to the heroes of Flight 93. The speeches were powerful. President Clinton, President Bush, and President Biden, I think, really hit the mark in their speeches yesterday, and I think all Americans can be proud of what we've been able to accomplish here at Shanksville. I also listened to the songs yesterday performed by Sarah McLachlan, and you would have thought the two songs she sang, I Will Remember You and Angel, were so fitting that she would have wrote them for the memorial yesterday. Again, just across the board, very, very moving and fitting to open this memorial. And this memorial would not be here for not the hundreds, if not thousands of people that have worked on this, from the local officials, the volunteers here in Somerset County who poured out, who worked extremely hard to make sure that this memorial became a reality. To the state officials that were involved, particularly Governor Rendell, who was a real champion, who sat here about 5 years ago with me, and he had just funded, I don't know what the project was, in Philadelphia or somewhere, and he looked at me and said, we should be spending that money here. And he went back to Harrisburg and started on the mission to make sure that the state was going to do their part to see this memorial was dedicated and built. To Governor Ridge and General Franks and Chris Sullivan, who headed up and are heading up the drive to raise the funds to complete the dedication here, and to the thousands of people who have contributed. Governor Ridge, thank you for your efforts in doing that. And of course, the men and women of the National Park Services, especially Joanne Hanley, who's sitting here today, your efforts. And Keith Newland, who continues that effort. We appreciate all that you're doing, and we know that you'll continue to do the things, you and the men and women, to make sure that this site, and every year, has the ceremony like this to honor the heroes of Flight 93. And of course, to the families. You inspire me every day. I've worked with many of you. We've faced hurdles. We've overcome them to see that the memorial's here. But you truly are an inspiration to me in everything that I do. Whether it's protecting this nation, whether it's trying to build a better America, whether it's trying to bring people together, you're the inspiration, you're the courage and the strength that helps me do what I do in the United States Congress, and I thank you for that. September 11th was a defining moment for America, but it was also a defining moment for our freshman countryman. That was me, Bill Schuster, in the Capitol complex that day. I'll never forget that day. I got into my office about 8:30, turned the TV on, and soon after saw the reports of the first plane. I called home, talked to my wife, Becky, and we talked about what she thought, what I thought it was. It had to be a small aircraft. Hung the phone up, and soon after we saw the second plane go in. Then, of course, the Pentagon, and we were ordered to evacuate the government buildings. I sent my staff away, and a couple of us stayed behind, thinking it would be mayhem out there in the streets, so we'd wait until it died down. And then we watched the plane on the north side of the Capitol do a U-turn. It was a commercial plane, was ordered to land. But after we saw that, we decided it was best to evacuate the Capitol. And then, of course, hearing the plane was missing in Shanksville, and then it went down here. The horrific events and the heroism that followed should always be remembered. Whether it's the towers, where almost 400 firemen and policemen rushed into those buildings to save lives and gave their lives at the end. Or to the Pentagon, where first responders and men and women who worked in the Pentagon went back into the building and tried to save people in the Pentagon. Tremendous acts of heroism. But this is the place where Americans said no. They weren't going to stand for what was happening. They heard about it, and as horrific as the day was, and to bring back those thoughts, it does bring a smile to my face to know they took a vote. Only in America would people take a vote, decide to make a plan, and then act on it. You know, this is the greatest country in the world. So they fought the counteroffensive, the first counterattack in the skies over Pennsylvania, and it ended right here in Shanksville. They should always and always will be, I believe, to the American people an inspiration, their courage and the hope that they give us. This is the site that I believe future generations will turn to. And we heard yesterday and 10 years ago, it evoked memories for me about Lexington and Concord and the Alamo, and where Americans banded together against incredible odds, stood strong, and said, no, this will not stand. That's what happened in the skies of Pennsylvania. That's what happened in Shanksville, and I'm certain it will be the inspiration for many, many generations to come. We must always remember the heroes of Flight 93. God bless them, God bless the families, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.